Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
We have to make sure that people understand that we cannot continue living our life that way. That if we continue living that way, that we're not going to have a planet to live on. So I think it's very important to consider animal agriculture when we're talking about climate and vice versa.
Supreme Master Ching Hai joyfully presents the Shining World Courage and Compassion Award to Sarah Goody. With all love and high salute for your precious work, may you enjoy continued success and constant protection by heaven.
Continue watching to find out more.
Building a Peaceful Planet for All Beings features courageous beings who strive for a world of harmony and upliftment, whose exemplary works will surely serve as benchmarks and blueprints in our journey towards a resplendent future. They are harbingers of peace who champion enlightened, noble causes, such as veganism, which not only help to save lives, but rekindles our innate compassion and awakens us to our true divine nature. Dear viewers, we are at a critical crossroads in our history. Let us all join hands to build a prosperous and sustainable future for all beings.
I dream that our beautiful planet will not be destroyed. It takes billion, trillions of years to produce this planet, and it's so beautiful, so wonderful. I dream that it will continue, but in peace, beauty, and love.
Greetings, compassionate viewers. I'm Jonah.
Tēnā koutou means hello in Maori.
The people of New Zealand wish that you're always brimming over with happiness. Welcome to our show entitled Building a Peaceful Planet for All Beings, Youth Climate Movement, Torchbearers, Climate Now, and the Sunrise Movement, Part 1 of 4.
Young people nowadays are acutely aware that they will bear the brunt of our world's deepening climate crisis.
They have heard the repeated warnings from the top scientists. They have seen the UN World Meteorological Organization's report in November 2018 that we are on pace to reach 3 to 5 degrees Celsius temperature rise within the century. They are anxious and frustrated by the adults dragging their feet and are now taking a stand. While the opinions of these young people are often dismissed due to their age, history shows that our world is a much better place today thanks to the activists of the past.
In this 4-part series, we are honored to present to you 2 youth organizations at the forefront of the exponentially growing climate movement in the USA.
Climate Now, based in San Francisco, California, and Sunrise Movement, headquartered in Washington, D.C., we will tell you about 3 spirited young climate activists: Sarah Goody, founder of Climate Now, and Kate Craig and Remus Anani, members of Sunrise Movement.
The trio was featured on a discussion panel hosted by the San Francisco Vegetarian Society during its 20th World Veg Festival event in San Francisco, USA on October 26, 2019. We are grateful to the San Francisco Vegetarian Society for granting us usage of the discussion panel footage. Our first featured climate organization is Climate Now, created by 15 years old Sarah Goody. Sarah became involved in climate activism at the age of 11. When she was 13, she began a one-person school strike crusade in front of the San Francisco City Hall every Friday for over 4 months.
Today, Sarah leads weekly climate strikes outside a high school near her home in Marin County. At the age of 14, she started Climate Now as a way to raise climate awareness for the youth in her community.
Climate Now hosts monthly meetings for youth in the San Francisco Bay Area to learn about climate change and its solutions, and partners with local schools that welcome Climate Now representatives to teach students about the climate crisis.
She has spoken at schools and rallies about the climate emergency, attended political conventions, and appeared on podcasts and shows as a guest speaker.
Sarah also worked in collaboration with several environmental organizations including Greening Forward, Earth Uprising, and Youth vs. Apocalypse.
These are admirable achievements for anyone, let alone someone who suffered from clinical depression as a child. Sarah talked about this early life experience and how she overcame it.
I struggled with depression. And I was in 5th grade, and I was depressed. I, every day, sat alone. I almost took my own life. And then I learned about activism. I learned about the animal agriculture industry, like I mentioned before, and I learned about climate change. And I realized that my life mattered, and that I was here for a reason.
What an inspiring story about finding one's purpose through selfless service.
Sarah also explained how she came to be aware of helping with the animals and the climate crisis was needed when she was 12.
My family and I watched a documentary called Cowspiracy, and before watching this video, I had always thought that factory farming was a really happy process, that it was happy cows on happy farms, that it was out of a storybook. But Cowspiracy showed me that these were all lies, that really the animal agriculture industry was greatly harming society as a whole. I also realized that through targeting the climate crisis, I could also fight other systems of oppression like the animal agriculture industry. So I knew, putting 2 and 2 together, that climate change was where I wanted to put all my effort.
Poised viewers, it is time to take a moment
To remember the Lord.
who showers us with divine love, whether we know it or not.
We will resume shortly. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
Welcome back, kindest viewers, as we continue to tell you about the remarkable young activist, Sarah Goody. As we mentioned earlier, Sarah was among the first to hold school climate strikes in California. At first, she received very little attention.
Just a year later, however, on September 20th, 2019, when Climate Now joined forces with Youth vs. Apocalypse to organize a school strike for climate in San Francisco.
As part of a global event called Global Week for Future, 40,000 students attended. The Global Week for Future event drew over 7 million people in thousands of cities and towns across the globe.
For Sarah, it was a light bulb moment when she first discovered the school strike movement.
So back on September 20th, we planned one of the largest strikes in San Francisco, where we led 40,000 people through the streets of San Francisco and stopped at different targets. For those of you who aren't familiar, there's this movement called the Fridays for Future movement, which is started by Swedish teenager Greta Thunberg. I met a girl in New York named Alexandria Villasenor who adapted this movement in New York and had been striking outside the United Nations for 18 weeks when I met her. And I was so inspired by the amount of change she created just by skipping school one day a week. She was drawing media headlines and she was drawing people from off the street and creating so much change by just sitting outside a building for 4 hours every week. So I was really inspired by this, and I took the movement back home to the San Francisco Bay Area, where I striked outside the San Francisco Ferry Building for 19 weeks last year. I strike those 19 weeks pretty much alone, so being able to see 40,000 people, youth and adults, in the streets on one day was absolutely mind-blowing and one of the greatest memories of my life.
Sarah turned vegan at the age of 12 after watching the documentaries Cowspiracy and What the Health, and has been sharing her experience and knowledge about the relationship between animal exploitation and climate change.
We have to make sure that people understand that we cannot continue living our life that way. That if we continue living that way, that we're not going to have a planet to live on. So I think it's very important to consider animal agriculture when we're talking about climate and vice versa.
Clearly now, we see that the potential destructive impact of animal livestock raising goes far beyond climate change. With a pleading heart and the utmost sincerity, the fully enlightened spiritual master, Supreme Master Ching Hai, delivered urgent messages to humanity in early 2020 before and shortly after COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic, taking hundreds of thousands of lives in a matter of months. These messages outline the consequences for humankind if we do not heed the foremost golden rule for all the world's major religions, benevolence.
Warning, you might find the content here disturbing, but the truth must be revealed.
I don't want to mince my word anymore. Our time is short now. Our world is in truly imminent emergency. There are a few ticking bombs, not just one. No need to wait for even climate change. Heavens and earth are shaken to the core, seeing the atrocities we measure upon our fellow human and animal earth tenants. So all kinds of calamity are inevitable. Heavens and earth are plaguing us with ever new, more strange diseases. Destructive signs are evident everywhere. All the governments signed the Less Meat Protocol, but haven't done anything concrete for it. So do not run away anymore from this inevitable decision. Nowadays we have so much tasty vegan food everywhere. Healthy, happy for all, humans and others. Please, do act quickly. You have the privilege to implement vegan law. No more animal-related suffering businesses. Zero pain, agony for all beings, humans and animals. And animal laws is the best. Animal protection law meaning vegan law, if we are to redeem ourselves and rescue our planet. God cannot be patient forever seeing us harming other fellow co-inhabitants. But if we stop, we repent, God will immediately forgive and forget. And we will all enjoy this life in abundance, happiness, and go to heaven when we leave this world. I promise. Heavens are my witness. God is my witness.
Intelligent viewers, we're grateful to Supreme Master Ching Hai for her wisdom-filled guidance and unconditional love. We also thank Sarah for her dedication to raise public awareness about our planet's climate emergency and its solution, the compassionate vegan lifestyle. May heaven bless you and your loved ones abundantly. Supreme Master Ching Hai joyfully presents the Shining World Courage and Compassion Award to Sarah Goody. With all love and high salute for your precious work, may you enjoy continued success and constant protection by heaven. Supreme Master Ching Hai is deeply grateful to the beloved God for all the financial help, comfort and support to the afflicted and needy and/or any good cause over the years. As a humble vessel for His compassion and love towards His precious children. To learn more about Climate Now, please visit climatenow.solutions. Gentle-natured viewers, thank you for gracing us with your dignified presence today. We will be featuring a second outstanding youth climate group, Sunrise Movement, in our next episode next week on July 21st, 2020, and hope you can join us. Coming up next is Earth Store Bodhisattva Sutra, the entrustment of people and gods, part 2 of 4, on between master and disciples, right after noteworthy news. May each moment of your life be a step towards God realization.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VEG.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/VEG.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/VEG.
Programele noastre oferă multe limbi. Vă puteți uita pe suprememastertv.com/schedule și suprememastertv.com/VEG.